From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Tisha Bader.
Hi, this is Micah Halpern, sitting in for Tisha Bader, and here is the JBS News Update for Friday, May 20th, 2022. The Jerusalem Post reported that Israel's Mossad interrupted a triple assassination attempt. The targets were a U.S. general, an Israeli diplomat in Turkey, and a journalist in France. The Mossad arrested the 52-year-old leader of the plot, Mansour Rassouli, in Iran and interrogated him. Rassouli gave up the details of the plan, his links with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. He was later released. Rassouli revealed that they were willing to pay contractors $1 million per hit. In the British media outlet, Rassouli now claims that, and I'm quoting, "Criminals abducted me, they put a bag over my head and took me to an unknown location. They told me that they'd kill me and my family and tortured me severely. They told me that I had to say everything they told me, that I was an emissary of the Revolutionary Guards, that I was sent to kill people in Europe and Turkey," unquote. There are a lot of credible details in the report Rassouli gave to the Mossad. The information sounds incredibly reasonable, especially given that the United States spends $2 million per month protecting former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo because of credible and actionable threats against his life. Rassouli is working hard to protect himself now from reprisals from the notorious Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. Yesterday was BaOmer. The Jewish calendar counts 50 full days, 7 full weeks, from Passover until Shavuot. It's called the counting of the Omer. BaOmer is the 33rd day of the Omer. In other words, it comes 33 days after the first day of Passover. 1 year ago in Israel, 45 people, men and children, were trampled to death on BaOmer. It happened at Meron, where hundreds of thousands of people gather each year to pay tribute to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. The 45 deaths were the result of overcrowding and poor planning. All the dead were trampled to death. This year, in response to last year's tragedy, a plan and restrictions were put in place. Only those with tickets were permitted entry. They were asked to remain no more than 4 hours. The number of people at the gravesite of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was limited, but the crowds did not follow the rules. The gravesite became overcrowded, with 400 people in a tiny area, only safe for 170. As the crowds got larger and larger and reached maximum, the police stopped buses as they were getting off the highway, causing large traffic jams. Some people became unruly. They pulled down fences and cameras. It was getting out of hand. The police ended the celebrations a few hours early. They managed to maintain control despite some difficult moments. Sand cats, also known as sand dune cats, are an endangered species. The Ramat Gan safari had 2 sand cats, one male and the other female. One feline came from France and the other came from Sweden. The 2-year-old female just delivered 5 kittens. According to the safari staff, at first the Europeans did not seem to get along, but as time went by, they got closer, they grew fond of each other, and they eventually mated. All 5 of the newborn sand cats in the litter have survived. Often only 2 kittens survive. So this is an exception. The mother is very protective of her newborns and barely lets the father come close. There are less than 10,000 of these endangered cats in the wild and only 178 in zoos across the world. At one time, there were sand cats in Israel, but not now. Hopefully with time, they will come again to Israel. Now, several zoos, like the Ramat Gan Safari, are taking part in efforts to boost the species' reproduction rate and to bring more sand cats to the world. The Israeli-born kittens will eventually be transferred to zoos in Europe, where they will hopefully continue to help the species populate and increase. And now for a look at this evening's programming on JBS. Coming up at 6 o'clock, it's live Shabbat services from the New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. At 8:30, it's a Shabbat a cappella concert. At 9, it's the film Bad Faith. At 10:30, it's a replay of the Hampton Synagogue Services and an encore presentation of the Central Synagogue Services. And coming up next, a look at this week's Torah Portion. This is Micah Halpern and the JBS News Update. I want to wish everyone a good evening and a Shabbat Shalom.